right, so you are Jared Kimbrough, starting center, Hartford Hawks, but you didn't start your career there. You started at LaSalle. And when did you transfer?
My junior year was that like 2017, 18, around there.
End of okay, 2017, 18. And but I was gonna ask about the beginning. So when you started, when was that first moment when you were like, I gotta play basketball. This gotta be my life. This gotta be what I do. Tell me about that.
So, fun fact: I used to play football before I even touched the basketball, uh, and I think that I got tired of football, and I kept getting taller and taller and taller, and then I eventually had my first dunk. That was like seventh grade,
How,
and
how old were you? Do you remember?
I don't even know.
Seventh grade. Okay.
Seventh grade, yeah,
Yeah.
just seventh grade. I dunked it. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty fun. And I just fell in love from there
Yeah.
and took off.
And then from there, did you start playing AAU or?
Yeah, I think I always played AAU.
Yeah.
Um, I think I started like fifth grade. I started playing AAU,
Hmm.
and I think I stopped playing football going into high school.
So this actually wasn't. I actually didn't even think about asking you this, but if you're comfortable with me asking, can you tell me what kind of offers you got? Like you obviously got offered from here in LaSalle. Can you tell me where else you got offered from?
I have a couple offers from other schools in Atlantic 10 that were with LaSalle.
Okay.
Some MEAX schools, some uh, CAA schools. But my top three ended up being LaSalle, George Mason, and Monmouth. And Monmouth is like a school that's like right near me. It's like 15 minutes away. Like you would think that would be the ideal spot for me.
You live in New Jersey, don't you?
I live in New Jersey.
Yeah. So I'm a transfer also. Obviously, that's well, not obviously. I mean, I came
didn't know that.
when I met you. I was a transfer. So for me, it was really hard to adapt. But for you, I can imagine being an athlete, just being busy all the time. How was it hard for you to adapt coming from LaSalle to here? Because it's further from it's further from home. You know, it's kind of like, why did you want to come here? Can you expand on that?
Um, I would say I wanted to come here to just get like a second chance, at basketball. Not everything went well at my last school. Um, I mean, like I played a lot, but then eventually things just went south. So I came here. Coach Gal gave me a second chance here, playing here. Coach Devitt, all the coaching staff, they invited me in, and I just needed that second chance, and they gave it to me, and I just had to just deliver.
Was it hard for you at all to adapt as a transfer? They made you feel really comfortable.
They made me feel really comfortable. I'm not gonna lie. They
Yeah.
gave me like the ultimate green light. They said, "Yo, just go out there and play your game. Like, just play with confidence." And it wasn't like if you messed up, like, yo, they're just like yelling at you. They'll come to you to correct you and tell you just try it next time. Just work on it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it seems like a really smooth process to come here.
Yeah, real easy. And plus I knew people before I even came here, so I knew Austin Williams last year, and Mike Dunn. I knew them too.
Yeah.
They're both from Jersey too, so
Okay.
those are my guys.
So can we get into why you went to LaSalle as a freshman?
Yep.
So that's pretty far back for you, but I mean that's where you went first time. I went to school in New York.
Where?
I went to school at Marymount, Manhattan, in New York. But so for me, when I wanted to go to school, I was like I just want to be in New York. So for you, what was your mentality like coming out of high school? Like where do I want to be?
I don't know. I don't think that I really like focused on that. I
Cool.
think that I just said, all right, well, this is kind of close to home. Like it's enough for me to grow as not only as a basketball player, but as a man too. And it was just, you know, if I needed to go home, I could go home. I could be in my family. They could come up here and see me play my first few years of college, So
So at that moment, it just felt comfortable.
and I've been to LaSalle prior too because one of my old friends from back at home, his sister used to play at LaSalle.
Okay.
So he used to invite me to the game. So
So
I
you've
was
been
already,
there.
yeah, I already been there and
Yeah.
I was familiar with the
You
coach.
feel safe, feel comfortable. Yeah. Senior year. You're in your senior year, and you and I were talking like a month ago in intramural, and for you, I've no. I mean, for me, I have no idea what. There's like so many options for you, you know, for your future. It could be a coach, it could be a teacher, it could be a skills coach, it could be just keep playing. Like, what do you want to do in the future?
I'm gonna just keep playing. Um, I have a lot of time left
You do.
before the ball starts bouncing, so I'm gonna just keep playing until I can't no more, and then after that, it's up to God.
Do you have any ideas for what you want to do right now, or you're just kind of gonna go with the flow, see what happens?
I'm not gonna give away too much information there, but
Okay.
I'm just gonna go play overseas.
Okay. You don't need to give up so much information. You need to keep you on the down low. Um, and then I also want to know. I've asked. I'm not gonna say the names, but I've asked 2 to 3 people, and they're just like, Jared has so much to say. They're literally in my computer. I got something right now. It says, "Give me any opinions you want to share with the world. Any freaking thing you want to say." So, if you've gone through any hardships, you know, while you've been here, if you've gone through any specific, um, just times where you really learn something about yourself that you'll never forget, just say it.
All right,
Educate the world.
well, I didn't. I don't know where to start. I do have a lot to say. I've been through a lot with basketball, just in general.
You want me to ask you a question and maybe lead you to it?
Nah, I got it.
Okay.
Well, so basically at my last school, everything was fine. Like I didn't start the first couple games as a freshman, and then eventually I worked my behind off to get there, and I ended up starting. My first game I ever started was against Florida at Florida, and that was like live TV and everything. And
Was it
normally,
Sal?
yeah, at LaSalle, and normally people would be like nervous about it,
For sure.
but I was like, nah, it's just another game against another group of guys. So I went out there and I played, and I think that was probably one of my favorite games I ever played too.
Like most fun.
Most fun,
Yeah.
yeah. And then that year goes by. I'm a starter my sophomore year, and then my junior year I started off as a starter. Then I lost my minutes. I don't know why, but I didn't quit. Didn't give up. I just stuck with the grind. I have talks with the assistant coaches that were there in the program, and I also got extra work in right after practice and before practice, and just to show the head coach like I'm ready to play. Like if you give me the opportunity, because my minutes went from starting to like sometimes playing like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and I will go in the game and I'll be fine. I'll be playing great, and honestly, that played a huge toll on me and my mental because I was like, yo, like I'm a way better player than what he's trying to make me seem that I am right now. And I kept trying to prove that every single day, and it's just like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell everything, but
I get it. You put your heart on the. You tried your best, and you know.
I tried everything, gave it my all.
It's that saying, you give it your all, and then you don't get it back.
Yeah, and just, it was so frustrating. I kept having like deep talks with my parents and like friends, and it got to me like a lot, and it got to a point where I didn't even want to play. Like I even told them like I'm done, like I'm out of here. Like we got into this big argument. I
For
told
sure.
him I'm out of here,
For sure.
and then he pulled me back to the office. We had another talk, and I told my parents like, yo, we just well, they told me that we're just gonna finish the rest of the season. There's only like a couple games left, plus the Atlantic 10 tournament, and just finish it out. Like just stuck it out. So I did that, and I didn't do it for myself. Like I did do it for myself, but I also did it for my family. And by doing that, like I got my starting spot back. I started playing well, started playing more. Like he finally started playing me, like after a while. And I think that showed me like how mentally tough I was, just because like I was there at my lowest, and I'd never been there before.
Never been at your lowest.
Never been there before.
Mhm.
Never knew how to figure it out. Like my parents just kept telling me like pray, just you'll get through it. And I sat there was days where I just sat there in the dark just looking and thinking like, yo man, like what am I doing wrong? And I just like really like like reflected, and I just stuck with it. And eventually, like good things came. Like I dug myself out that hole, and I got out of there, and I came here, and like, man, like it was just like a breath of fresh air.
I had a feeling you would say that. Yeah.
I like I came back here like I didn't even want to play ball. Like I just came back here and I found the love for the game again, and it was so relieving just coming here. Like not even because of like the people that go here, just because of like the environment that I was
The
in.
culture.
Yeah, like that culture that they was building was like something so special, and it felt like an actual family, and I never felt that. Not even at my old school, I never felt that. But I'm just grateful that I even came here and was given that opportunity. So I would say that that's just a testament of just like never giving up, like just sticking with it, just never giving up, and sooner or later it'll pay.
And when you're at your lowest, you remember everything.
Everything,
You remember
everything that's said, everything that was done to you,
'Cause
remember all that.
I have my own story from being at my lowest point where it was just like with my medical stuff, and I've been at my lowest. And you remember like the times where you're just thinking like, why me?
Yeah,
So, like then when you get, that's really cool. You get to go to Hartford, and then I had a feeling you'd say breath of fresh air.
yeah,
That's really
yeah.
cool.
Some
So-
people was like, "Yo, that grass ain't always green." I said, "Well, it's greener over here. I'll tell you that."
What do you think? I know you just went on about the culture, but what else? What else have you liked about? You've been at Hartford for how long?
This is my second year
It's your second year. Yeah,
Yep.
so you're new to it. Yeah. But what else do you really like about it?
at Hartford.
Yeah, I mean you're here for the school, but like, is it, do you like the people here? Do you like just seems like the whole culture is a big part of it, big part of what you like.
Not even it's just the basketball aspect of it.
I mean,
but I met some great people here. But I just really mainly stay to myself. But if I see some people, I'll go around, talk to them, say hi. Other than that, like I'm just staying to myself because just stay out of trouble.
seems like that LaSalle thing prepared you for life.
It did.
That's a good thing.
It changed me a lot.
That's
I'm
crazy.
not gonna lie.
That's awesome. Dude, this question I got for you is away from basketball. It can be away from basketball.
Okay.
It can be away from college. It can be just into the world. Is there anything just that you wish that like you could just bring onto the world? Like you could just get people to like just something that when it happens, every single time it happens, it's like, man, why you even got to do that? Something you want to share with the world. Something you want to stop happening. I know it's very vague, but just people have been telling me you have a lot to say, and Jared, we're trying to get you to change the world.
I guess just spread more love and positivity than you do negativity because people are so quick to spread a lot of negativity than positivity. Like I realized that in the summer. Like I did a lot of reading over the summer. Like I read like 3 books, and it was just all about.
What'd you read?
Um,
Sorry to cut you off.
I can't say.
No,
one
you're
of
good.
them.
Keep going.
I can't say one of them, but it's like one was based on like learning how like not to care and when to care, like things like stuff like that. Basically, that book was just talking about like focusing on the things that you can control and not really caring too much about the things you can't control because you can't control them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's just like things on how to handle that, and then I had another one to build healthy habits, stuff like that. So I was really trying to like change a lot and just spread more positivity. And like I even got my friends from back home to like that I always hang out with. I even got them to have more like positive mindset because if you have a more positive mindset, then a lot of good things will come for you.
And it's also special with like people that you really like. Have you known those guys for a while?
I knew them. Yeah.
I have
Probably
a friend
10
that
years.
I have a friend that I've known for 10 plus years, and it's just like when like it's almost like you're trying to become a version. I'm trying to become a version of like my friend back home.
Mhm.
It's like I feel like he betters himself, and like that's what I try to follow. So something like that.
That's important.
It's something like with the culture, I guess, with friends. Just like it makes you want to be a better version of yourself.
That's important. You gotta, but I think it also starts with having a group of friends that actually like care enough to be better about themselves.
Yeah.
If you don't have
That's all it
that,
is.
then it's just you're gonna look at things that they do as like negative or like why are you even doing that? Like that's unnecessary.
You gotta have people that push you to be better.
Yeah, if your circle's not pushing you to be better, then
It's not a circle.
it's not a circle.
It's not the circle you want to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Can I ask you? Can I steer away from a little bit, just like your interests, just like what you like to do when you're like not playing basketball, or do you really just spend time on your own? You read.
Outside of basketball,
You read. Do you listen to music? Do you have any other? Do you play football every now and then?
playing no football no more.
But you stopped playing because it was too dangerous.
I didn't want to go for a catch and somebody take my knees out.
So too dangerous. Yep.
That's nah, because then we had to be fighting on the field. I don't like that.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
But outside of basketball,
Like
you
say
know.
like you ever go through this period? Sorry to cut you off. Whenever you go
No
through
worries.
this, you play basketball and you're just like, man, I love basketball, but just like I need to like just like a little break from it. Like when you're in the grind, like when you're maybe in school, you're like playing every day. You kind of just need like a few hours to just like be on your own, do something.
to be honest, like this is going on my second week of doing nothing since basketball season
So
ended.
doing nothing is great, but expand on that.
All right, so
'Cause
if I'm not playing ball,
Yeah.
I'm either lifting, watching TV shows or anime. I'm a big anime guy.
Yeah.
I will listen to music, but I'm not gonna sit there and just listen to music just because I'm probably have to do something with it. Like I gotta clean a lot, so I have OCD, so I have to clean.
Okay.
Fun fact: I do puzzles. I love puzzles, and I paint sometimes here and there. Not all the time, but sometimes. I'm terrible at it, but
But you like it.
yeah, it calms you down a lot.
It does.
Clears your mind. Whatever you got on your mind, it clears
It does.
it.
There's sometimes where I'm on a beach, or there's sometimes where I just have a piece of paper and I'm doing nothing as you say.
Mhm.
I just start scribbling.
Hey, I live right by the beach, so like every day I have the luxury going right there to the beach.
But why? For me, I don't even know why. Maybe it's just like an instinct. It just
Yeah.
calms you down. I don't know.
It does. Like whatever, you just go to the beach, you just look out on the horizon. It's just like wow, like
Just calm. Man, yeah.
whatever my problems is, like there's a lot of like people out there that's going through worse than me, and you just like sit back and just think how grateful you are, like regardless of like what's going on, like just really like makes you think about like life.
It also that's the tough thing about being injured. You've been injured for a while, and
Oh,
when you're down for a while, like literally down, like you can't stand up. That's what makes it so hard because you can't. It almost makes it just mentally easier to just be up, like
Yeah.
be up and doing something, be up and going to the beach while you're hurt, or getting up and like going to walk or something. Like maybe it doesn't make you feel all better, but like that's tough. Is there anything else like you like learned while you were being injured about yourself? Because I bet you learned a lot.
Man, I played on a tour, a partially torn plantar fascia
Oh, fantastic.
for since like I don't even know how long. Probably going back until like December, like the very beginning of December. Like I just remember feeling this pain in my heel. I'm like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then it never went away. It never got better. It never went, it never got worse. So I'm like, you know what, whatever. So I'm gonna just keep playing. And we played Sacred Heart. I remember this. I made a crazy hook shot. And I'm just like, all right, let me run back on defense. I went to go sprint and I fell immediately. And I remember it, like this sharp pain. I felt like something just like tore. And I'm like, yo, this hurts so much. So I just
Screaming.
fell on the ground. I didn't scream.
Okay.
I didn't want to embarrass myself. So I just sat there. I held on to my phone. I'm like, yo, help, come on over. And ever since then, I had to play on it. And I think I missed like 5 games, and then I came back and just, it was like, I just got to play. My family wants to see me play. I didn't get down on I can't say I didn't get down on myself because it was frustrating, like,
It's hard not to.
yeah, frustrating playing through it and not being able to do, like, the things you're capable of doing. And, that was just, I looked at what happened at LaSalle and, like how I persevered through everything. So I took that lesson that I learned from there and just used it here. It was like, yo, like, whatever you do, just don't give up. Keep pushing through. Like, and then my parents even told me, like, yo, man, like, we want to see you play your last couple of college games. Like that's important to us. And then they got some of my one of my teammates. He sent me one message, and it changed my whole aspect of like how I'm looking at what I'm looking at right now. Like my whole injury.
You gotta
he was
tell us.
just he was just like
You gotta say the message.
I'm not gonna read it out loud. I'm not gonna read it word
But
for
can you
word.
go? Can you
I'm
go?
gonna summarize it. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
He was like
Good.
yeah, like I know like everybody sees you going through it, but I just want to let you know like everybody else is going through it also, and I just want to let you know like I need you to keep pushing through, like I look up to you, stuff like that, and I'm just like all right man, like I'm sitting in my room like all right man, that you got me. So now I just gotta whatever I do, just stay locked in, just stay the course.
It helps because like you're already doing it for yourself. Then you
Yeah.
got someone else saying you got to do this for me, and you want to do it for your parents. Then you're like, all right.
Yeah, even Mike, even my teammate Mike, he was like, "Yo, man, like, if you don't do it for anybody else, at least play for me, man." And I'm like, "All right, man."
That stuff's gonna, yeah.
So
That stuff's gonna hit you.
I told him, "All right, I'm gonna suit up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you what I can do, and if it's not my best, I'm sorry. You know what I'm going through, but I'm gonna give you. I told the whole team, I said, I'm gonna give y'all my all. I'm gonna give y'all everything I have right now, and whatever that looks like, just know I tried."
I mean, that's all you can do. When you're
Yeah.
hurt. Because the thing is, when I've been like just sick or down, like the thing is, I see myself, like I kind of like want to prove myself, do stuff for that like hurt version of you. That was like, man, I don't, why is this happening to me? It's
Yeah.
almost like you want to like, it's almost like I see that version of myself, or you see that version of yourself, and you want to do it for that version of yourself.
I actually I was hurt last year. I was hurt last year. I had to get surgery on my foot, on my ankle. I mean, I tore my ligaments. But I got surgery last year, and I just remember the mindset that I had. Like I dragged my two friends out the house. Like I just got out the cast, and they put me in the boot, and I said, "Hey, we're gonna go to work. Like we're gonna work." Cause
You were-
my friends had goals. My friend got fat. I told him, I was like, "Hey man, like." He walked out the house. He got to the car. I said, "Yo, what's up? What's going on? You been eating a lot?" He goes, "Why? What's wrong?" I said, "Bro, you a little fat now, man."
Yeah, man.
And he like, I'm the only one that's gonna tell him the truth. Like his parents didn't say nothing to him.
Yeah.
None of his friends said anything to me. So he looked at me like this. He was like, "I got fat?" I'm like, "Yeah, you got fat. Maybe matter of fact, we going to the gym tomorrow." And I just remember his face. Like he was quiet the whole ride. He was just quiet the whole ride.
Because he believed you.
Yeah, he believed me. He was like, all right, he's not gonna tell me a lie. And I remember him just telling me his goals. I was like, all right, F, like what's your goals, bro? And he just said like, all right, I just want to lose at least like 30 pounds, at least 20 to 30 pounds. I want to lose that by the end of the summer.
So now where is he at?
He lost that. He's lower than what that was, and I'm so happy for him. Like I'm probably more happy than he is for himself.
So what you did for him is like what Mike was trying to do for you when you were hurt.
Yeah, but I worked out with him while I was hurt. Like I was in the boot, I'm lifting, I'm doing legs. I'm trying to do legs at least. I can only do like leg extensions.
Yeah.
Oh man, I almost knocked it off. But yeah, he lost a lot of weight, and my other friend, he had a goal of starting, and I pushed him to his limits over the summer. Yeah, like I'm just like, all right, we're gonna work. Like we're really gonna put this work in, and I think while I was in that boot working with them, like they motivated me more than I motivated them. Like just seeing them just sitting there working, like putting in the work every single day. Like I'm putting them through some hell.
You see them, they're only working because you told them to.
Yeah.
And that makes you want to push even more for them.
Yes, and I'm sitting there. I worked on my body all summer, like as much as I could, and as much results as they made, I made like probably way more than they did because they pushed me more
Y'all were
to
progressing.
be better. Yeah.
Y'all progressed together.
Yeah, and then they didn't hold me like, oh yeah, you're in the boot, like you can't do this. They said, go ahead and do it. I said, all right, yeah, you're right. What's stopping me from doing it?
They
right?
gave you the same energy that you gave them.
Yep. That's what happened. That's the friend group that pushes you as much as you push them. That's a beneficial friend group, you know.
Yeah. That's what you want from friends.
You don't have
you
that.
also want what you told him. You want honesty. Like,
I want you to be real.
Yeah.
I want you to be real with me. If you're not,
you
If you don't like what I did, tell me.
Yeah.
If I did something,
These are the people that you're supposed to tell you.
yeah. And if you're not, then are you really being my friend? Like, if I'm telling you when you're in the wrong, you're not telling me when I'm in the wrong. Come on. But that's just a beneficial friend group,
Yeah.
you know.
Can I ask you a little bit about your? You watch the NBA a good amount, or do you not that much?
But if it's a really good game, yes, I watch it. I watch more college than anything.
Okay, here's a good question for you. Overall, basketball, just NCAA, it could be even high school. What's the great game you've seen where you're just like, holy bleep. I don't know if I can curse. I probably can't.
You can curse.
Okay. It could be even a high school game that you pulled up to. It could be a game that you saw from stands. It could be on TV, whatever you want.
All right. Well, I saw 2 games. My first one I would say is the game that I saw the other day. Shout out to St. Joe's. They played really hard the other day. They played in the championship game over at St. Joe's, and even though they lost that championship game, they never gave up. Like, they fought hard, and like both teams fought hard, honestly. And I'm sitting there watching the game. I'm like, yo, these dudes are really like playing like their lives are on the line.
Yeah.
And that's what basketball is. Like, they was going at it, and that's what you like to see from like if you're like a basketball player. Like, that's what you want to see. You want to see 2 teams. Yeah. That's what you want to see, 2 teams going at it, like not giving up. Like, I think the other team went down like 5, and then St. Joe's went down 5, and then both of those teams just kept fighting, and it was a close game to the very end.
It's called what is that? They went back and forth.
It was a
like
back and forth
one was
game.
up, and then the other was up. Yeah.
Yeah. That game was amazing. I thought it was really good. And shout out to the St. Joe's. They're in the not championship, first round for NCAA basketball tournament tonight.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. Good luck tonight.
It is March 3rd, so.
Yeah. And the second game was Miami and the Celtics. I went to the Celtics game and I seen them.
When was that? What year?
It was this year. It was not this year, literally, but
2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they played them at home.
I remember that.
And it went to overtime. They just played them in a back-to-back too. So that was the second game of the back-to-back, and they played them pretty well. Like the Heat was playing the Celtics pretty well, and I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm sitting there, and I think this was like the last play of like a regulation, and Jaylen Brown caught the ball, ripped through, and took a wild shot. And I'm sitting here in the stands like, why would I threw my arms up in there? I'm like, why is he shooting that? Oh, man, I keep doing that.
Man, come on.
And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at him like, bro, why is he shooting that? And this dude banked it in a minute and made it. I'm like, oh, I was going crazy.
Whole stadium goes crazy.
I was going crazy. And that was probably like one of my favorite games I went to. And that was amazing. Even though they lost in overtime. But that was just like a crazy game to even go to.
So I'm going to give you some perspective because you're from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know this. I think I've told you this, but I'm from Houston.
Are you?
I am.
You're a long way from home.
I know. But I've been so fortunate to go to some games, and crazy lucky. And I saw Chris Paul, James Harden versus Steph Curry, Game 7.
Oh, you was at that?
27 missed threes.
You went to the game?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I went to the game with my brother. Shout out my brother Joseph if he's watching. We were so upset. We were laughing. Like, we were laughing to try not to cry. Like, we were at the game, and Curry and Durant were doing what they do, and we kept fighting. It was true. Like, we kept fighting. Like, I remember seeing PJ Tucker, just putting in layups and stuff like that. Everyone was trying their best. We couldn't make a 3. But I remember just like how that was the craziest game because it was a home game for the Rockets, but the momentum shifted so much for Golden State.
There's no way they were losing.
No.
They had Kevin Durant and Steph.
Game they came in, like, we were winning. We were winning at the end of the first half.
Mm-hmm.
But still somehow the momentum, for a team to be losing by like 15 at the end of the first quarter and still to have the momentum, still to be like, you can't count them out.
Yeah.
That's, something that's like once in a lifetime.
Isn't that when Chris Paul got hurt?
That is.
He got hurt Game 7?
He got hurt Game 5.
Game 5, yeah. So it was just Harden playing, right?
Yeah. Game 6, they were in Golden State. They lost. And then my brother and I we were so lucky. We got to go to the game. and we saw that. I saw Kobe's last game in Houston. I saw that, and he dropped 35. I saw that with my mom. Shout out to my mom.
Yeah, that's legendary.
It was
actually.
crazy.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember enough as I wish I did, because I think I was just like 16. I wasn't as into basketball, but thinking about it right now, like about what happened, it's really crazy.
That must have been great. I've never seen Kobe play in person.
She always brings it up too. My mom, or she doesn't always, but she brings it up more than me. She's like, "Remember that time we went to Kobe?" Like, I think my dad couldn't go. I usually go with my dad, and it was crazy. He had 35, and he was I think 39. Remember, he was kind of struggling his last few years.
Yeah, just a little bit though.
Yeah,
He was fighting injuries though.
he was. Yeah, for sure. But like every now and then, he would have a 30-point game. It was crazy. But
Just seeing Kobe in general in person is
yeah,
it's crazy.
it was crazy. That's all I got. You got any? I want a section. This is I have. This is my section. Even though I kind of already gave it to you, but just anything you want to any like the story you think is crazy. Any like okay, that's appropriate. That you could tell the world that like not like confidential, but like kind of like behind the scenes at Hartford, something that maybe that not many people know about. You know what I'm saying?
I have a lot of crazy stories, but it's for off camera.
Do you have any on-camera stories you could tell? Like maybe like once you were really hurting during a game and you were like really questioning going out, and then you went out and played.
All right, I got one.
There you go.
This was last year, like last season, my first year here, and I went. Me and my old girl at the time, we went out to eat the day before Valentine's Day. I was busy, I had a game that day, and she had class that she had to go to. But we had a game the next day versus Vermont. Now, Vermont never lost in the conference. So I'm sitting there, I'm eating steak and everything, and then, it's going all right. I get back to the room, my stomach just killing me, man.
Oh, God.
Like, it's just killing me. So after a while, I just had to throw up. I threw up twice. The second time I threw up blood, so I'm like, yo, let's go to the hospital.
Oh,
So I went to the hospital, and I got there, and I said, yo, listen, I can't be here for long. I have a game tomorrow.
You told that to the doctor.
I told that to all the doctors, the nurses. I'm like, listen, I got a big game tomorrow. We play Vermont. It's a very big game for us. I need to be there. And they're like, okay. So I'm sitting in the ER the whole night until about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. They finally take me out. They admitted me finally. And I'm sitting, I'm like, so am I going to be able to make this game or not? And
That's all you can think about.
Yeah, that's all. I didn't care about what's going on. I'm like, come on, am I gonna be able to make it to the game? They said, yeah, but if you play in this game and you don't drink a lot of water, then you're gonna end up right back here. I said, all right, just give me the papers so I could go. Just give me the papers. So I remember all the coaches, they bought a bunch of Pedialytes, waters.
Yeah.
So I was just I was just chugging water the whole time.
You do what you had to do.
And I just made it for walkthrough. So I got out right before, it was about like 12-ish, around there. And I'm sitting there. I walk in. They was like, oh, you're back. I'm like, yeah, I'm back. They said, how you feeling? I said, oh, I'm doing great. I'm feeling fine. And they was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, I'm feeling fine.
Start capping a little bit.
Yeah, and I remember I was scared to even eat the pregame meal.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, should I eat this? Nah, I'm not going to eat it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just drink a lot of water. I took a nap. I woke up refreshed. And I still had this pain in my side. Like, I was just like, I'm just going to thug it out.
Yeah.
And I remember the whole game. It was a close game. And it was an immediate timeout. It was not immediate timeout. It was just regular timeout. It was towards the end of the game. They just made a shot. I think we was down 1, and we had the ball. And they called timeout. And I'm sitting here. I'm like, Coach. I was like, I just need some water. I'm in so much pain.
Like, you don't want to get taken out of the game.
I don't.
You just need water.
They needed me. I'm like, bro, just come on, man. Just give me some water or something.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there chugging the water, and I'm sitting there like just panting. And Pierre, he looked at me. He said, "No one cares, Jay. Suck it up." I said, "Oh wow, all right. You know what? You're right.
And if y'all don't know Pierre, Pierre is, how tall is Pierre?
Pierre's 7'1", 7'2".
Pierre's 7'1",
one around there.
Center on the team, cool guy. I met him.
Yeah, he told me, he said, nobody cares, Jay, suck it up. I'm like,
Hearing that from him is pretty funny.
and I'm sitting there, I'm like this, all right? I'm like, I say, you know what? You're right, P. You're right. And I remember I didn't know we were down 1. I thought we was down 2. So we get the ball. We come down. I think somebody missed. I went to go crash the glass, and I just seen Mo come out of nowhere and just tip the ball in. And all I hear in the back is the crowd going crazy. And it's like probably like half a second left. And I remember just being so pissed because I had to use the bathroom from all that water I was drinking.
Oh, God.
And I'm sitting there pissed off because I thought we went to overtime. And my teammates coming up to me, jumping on me, like, hey, let's go, Jay, let's go.
You thought you were down 2?
I thought we was down 2. We was only down 1.
Yep.
And I'm like, what you talking about, let's go?
You're pissed.
I'm pissed. Yeah, I was tight. I was like, bro, we got overtime. I looked up, and I was like, oh, wow, we won this game. And I remember, I was like, oh, let's go. We won the game. And I ran straight to the bathroom.
Ran
I
straight
had
to the locker
pee
room and then
so bad.
took a nap and went back to the hospital maybe.
I just remember being so relieved that was over. We won the game, and I was just like, all right, so now I get to finally rest.
That's the story to tell the grandkids.
But yeah, I was just so glad. That was actually funny. Pierre really made me laugh. He said, "Nobody cares, Jay," and I was. Just
You don't hear him be serious. He's one of those guys that's like, usually got a smile on his face. He's kind of like Pano. He's just like a golden retriever. You don't see him get serious a lot.
He was
serious. Obviously, you know him way more than me, but from what I've seen him.
Yeah, he was so serious when he said it. I'm just like, wow, you know, you're right.
Yeah.
Nobody really cares.
Like
they all think I'm fine.
It's those friends that you have that like you always see him smile, you never see him down, but then that one moment when they get down, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
So shout out to Pierre for even saying that.
That's cool.
First of all, that made me laugh, and second of all, that I kept going after that. So
That's a cool story.
Shout out Pierre.
Anything else you got?
Nah, nothing on camera.
All right. I appreciate you, Jared.
I appreciate you.
You don't even know my name?
Alex.
There it is.
Come on, man.